Hi everyone. So after Billy Moore came to Heywood and he videoed certain parts of Heywood, he didn't show all the beautiful parts of Heywood. So I'm going to get some content showing lots of different parts of Heywood, and I'm going to collaborate it over the next few days so you can see all the nice bits that he missed. And I'm hoping, Billy, you need to come back and visit us on Heywood Market. You need to see Queen's Park, you need to see the Sports Village, you need to see Hotwood Park. There's so many nice areas that you've missed and you've just highlighted to make it look like a really bad town, whereas so many worse towns in Manchester areas, and Heywood isn't the worst. So I'm going to show you that what it actually really looks like. So I live near St John's Church. This is showing a little bit at the top of Green Lane. So we've got a lot of road closures there at the minute. But this is just one little church that you can see. And then I'll show you bits on the way walking down. So I always love this walk down into Heywood Centre because there's always lots of greenery and dogs barking. But this is like the end of Heywood, so Hotwood is up that end. But I remember when I first came to Heywood 15 years ago, and I remember thinking, oh my god, it's lovely and green, when I've just come from the really busy city parts of Manchester, because I'm from Gorton originally. So I've moved from Gorton into a nice town. I brought up my daughter here and she loves hanging around the area, and as much as people think it isn't as safe, it probably, you've always got to be careful at night time and not let your kids out too late. But I track her on Life 360. We check where she is, what she's getting up to, and then always do phone calls checking in with her as well. So it isn't the most unsafe town because she reports back to me what she's seen, what's about, and no matter where you go, as you can see, there's lots of barbers, there's lots of shops that we've always had to be aware of. But if you give your kids the right direction of what to do and never accept free things off anyone, then you're keeping them safer by telling them that you never accept anything for free. So from my house, walking down into Heywood town, we've reached the first pub that I can see, which is the Starkey Arms. Now, I know my family go in this pub and it's a lovely, friendly pub. You don't feel like you can't walk in, it's really inviting. I'm going to speak to the landlady, see if I can share some footage from their nights in there when they've got karaoke themed nights. But some people can get a little bit worried about going into local places and local pubs because they're not sure how the locals are going to behave, but it's a really welcome and inviting pub there. So as you can see there, you can always see a bit of the hills. Peel Tower is that way towards Ramsbottom, but it's a lovely view walking down. So this is the East Lancs Heywood station, railway station. Now it's not used for, you know, everyday today travelling. It's more of a tourist attraction. Now down there they've got a little bit of a play park. They did used to have a cafe, but I'll have to investigate, see if that's still up and running, because I heard that it wasn't, but they created like a cafe inside there. But we do get like the steam trains coming this way sometimes. I'm just coming past Il Vecchio, which is a really popular Italian restaurant around here. So see how in the distance there there's a train set up. It's an old train that was made into a cafe, but I'm not sure if it's open at the minute. But this is showing what's available in Heywood on the map. So if people are coming to visit, now people have to walk a little bit to find some of the bits that are listed on here, and it's when people are coming out for the day and they just want to have a little tour of the local town, coffee. Billy missed the library that he was right next to the other day as well, and it even says Heywood Markets on there. And we've got the memorial gardens that he totally missed out on, which is absolutely beautiful. And then, so there's just a little bit of some of the attractions that's listed on the railway information board. Now it's just like a 5-minute walk from the train station to get into the centre. So it's just like there's a lot of like sort of warehouses, steel, bits of works going on, your generic shops, car wash, people's houses, and then we're coming up to a really popular chippy in the area. Now there's a few that are really nice. This one's only open certain times of the day, so because it's popular at the certain times. And so I do know that this building was held for the local MPs at one point, but there's, I think it's like a yoga studio that's here. So it's a strength and wellness. So if you look into that, it's probably online somewhere. Don't have time much myself to go to classes, that's why I do lots of walking. So coming up to the chippy, so I'll show you a little bit of that. Here's Tommy's chippy on the bench here. They're not open at the minute, but they're setting up for the dinner rush. There's another view of it. There's a few salons there, that's a new one, the Cloud. But over here, we've got Crawford's Domestic Appliances and Furniture, which is a local business in the area. And then your Brown Road Motors, Brown Royd. So when I first came into Heywood, this was when I knew I was getting into Heywood Centre. So I used to know I'd see this car place, and then I knew as soon as I get round the bend, I'll see the library. All local businesses there. We've got a salon, we've got brunch, another little mini market, Sonny's Chinese fish and chips English chippy that's there, and then we've got another salon there, we've got a dentist, and then we've just come to the next pub that's round here. Don't know if you know, but Heywood was known for having the most pubs in a certain amount of distance in the Guinness World Record book. I'll have to look at the facts on that. But obviously, you know, they can look bit intimidating from the outside, but they're always nice and friendly inside. You can see that building in the distance is the library that we're coming up to, and the bus stop where Billy started his video is just next to there. So I'm showing the first bits of everything he missed, where we've got a community market, we've got a civic centre, there's more local businesses there, and you know, we don't have everything that we used to have in the local businesses outside, but inside the market we've got so much variety in there, and we've been complimented that we don't look like other markets because we've got so many unique different businesses in there. So as you can see, so them outside shops have the option to be out open all day every day if they wanted to, but we are open on Thursdays, even though on that sign it says Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. So the signs, there is a sign saying we're open Thursdays on one of them. I'll get like a closer look of the market for you when I'm actually in there tomorrow, because I have my own business in there. As you can see, we've got a popular chippy there at Heywood Fish Bar, and they've got a cafe next door, and they are always busy. And then we've got a community room down there where we offer different things, and Andy's Man Club sometimes hosts in there. That's one of the entrances, and there's actually 4 entrances for the market, and it'll be back open tomorrow because today is Wednesday. But this is a little bit of what Billy actually missed when he came here the other day. The Civic Centre's just been had a development, so it's looking really nice from the outside. There's a car park, and you've got 2 hours that you can spend on there parking, but please use it if you are customers for the market and the fish bar. We've got a learning centre here as well. We've got this massive Spring Hill Hospice charity shop on the front that he totally missed when he was here as well. So there's another look at the Civic Centre with its new build, and there's the local library and the Phoenix Centre. The Phoenix Centre is like an NHS building for different appointments and things, but this is a nice historical building with, look at the detail in the brickwork there, and I totally missed that. And that's the bus stop he was at when he came the other day. We've got another local business here, got an Indian restaurant and a Willow's function room, which a lot of the people in the area use for functions, weddings, parties, everything there. So here's the Memorial Gardens, and it's such a really nice, quaint, peaceful place to be in. And he never even shown that, and he was right at this bus stop. This is where he was stood, or maybe that one, with them two lads when they told him to go to Darnhill. And there's a nicer look at St Luke's that's right next to where he was. So if he'd just gone up that way, he would have seen there was a community market on the other side, which he totally missed out on, and totally missed all this beautiful Memorial Gardens out here. And he really should have looked into the nice things a little bit deeper instead of trying to make it look like we were a really bad town. So that's where we stood before he went and saw the lads at the bus stop in that little bit. And over at the church we have a stage set up on 1940s Day, and the Christmas lights switch on in this area, and it gets really busy in the town. And this is where he should come down to and see it for himself. Here we've got more local businesses, and obviously you've got your generic shops that seem to be turning up everywhere. Shops that sell a bit of everything. But we get a lot of stick about people saying about vape shops and Turkish barbers, and everyone seems to think they're all corrupt and whatnot. But no, stop highlighting all the bad things and actually focus on local businesses that are still trying to thrive in this area. Just totally missed the King's there. So there's the King's pub, which is a good local pub that a lot of the regulars like to go to in the area. And then we've got funeral directors here. We've got Ryder and Dutton, another barbers, and the Old Queen Anne. That's a popular place to go. He's got a massive beer garden at the back, and it's a really, really fun place to spend your weekends. And that cafe, I've seen Andy Bod going in there. So that's another local business that's really popular. And we've got this little playtown that's here as well. And then up here, we've got like a gaming place that's like an escape room that you can come to. There's another salon there. There's another business that does clothes called Posh Frocks there. I know that's where he was down there when he was talking to Jamie about the swimming baths. But the local businesses that have got dance schools and stuff down there, they are being affected by the things that are being rumoured in that area there. And he was down there, the Weatherspoons, when he saw him, and totally missed all the other bits that's in this part of the town. And we've got a charity shop there. We've got a local business, Taylor James, that's got a few different businesses for doing flowers, doing hair. See, when people are actually tarnishing towns, they're actually affecting local businesses. We've got a local Boots that's still standing here, card factory. We've got this electronic services over here, which, you know, we all need our household appliances, don't we? But we've also got loads more down there as well. B&M's and Morrison's in that direction, which I'll show you on another video because it's not on my walking route today. I'm known for having a lot of salons because people really do take care of themselves around here. More charity shops. And then we're coming up to the bit where he's filming them people drinking on the bench, but I'm not going to get that footage because it's the only small part that's in here. Nobody's even there today. So there's Tony's low cost appliances there. So he's got lots of good value stuff. Hello! Post office. And then there's another Taylor James there. Some lovely gifts and stuff. And you know, every time I come down here, I'm always thinking what have I missed out on and what have I not seen. So if I have missed you on the way, it's because I get a bit camera shy while I'm walking around. Got the dresser's arms there, that's actually really popular. Locals go there even with the families, they have fun days on and stuff. And when he was saying about the Three Terriers, it's not even open anymore, so why did he even mention that? So this is the other half. I've just walked through the centre bit. So this is coming more out of the town centre with a few shops that are around. And we've got all your bargain shops that, you know, you see in every town. You've got your local businesses again. Now I know at Caspian's I actually buy from there. I'm on a weekend, so I know that's decent. And then we've got a Greenwood's Bakery. You know, that's a traditional thing to have in the town. So as I come through, we've got Bridge Street Butchers right there. And they are really popular for their tapas boxes that they do. And we've got a pet shop here. And we've got a Kuna Matata that's really popular here. If you look at their page, they have some really good events on here. It's a nice little tiki bar. We've got an Iceland. And we've got, I'm sure it's a dog charity place that's down here for the RSPCA, I think it is. I'll get a bit closer. Here you go. We are full of charity based places around here. So totally missed all that stuff out. And then I'm coming away from there now. So I'm walking towards Darnhill, and my friend that I'm going to lives right at the top. So I'll show you bits of that too. The business at the end there. And then we've got a little Heywood in bloom here, but we've got like a wall of fame that's over there, but I'll get a closer look at that when I'm on that side of the road. So I'm coming up Hillsworth Road to get to more of Darnhill. So look, nice little bungalows. Nothing too bad about all this, is there? So don't paint bad pictures of places and you've not even walked the full length of it. I walk absolutely everywhere in Heywood, and not once have I ever felt unsafe. Now at night time it can be a bit quiet where you feel like there's nobody around, so I can understand why people would feel a bit wary, but I'd never let my daughter out late at night walking the streets when it's dark. And you know, we're gonna get the odd thing that we're gonna be worried about. We should always be vigilant, always. But as it goes, like I've said, I'm from Gorton. I don't feel safe walking around Gorton. And Jamie, you're from Longside, aren't you, mate? And you probably know that it's a lot worse there, isn't it, than Heywood. Now, we like that people are trying to keep people safe, but we've got to remember, we've got to support local people, local towns, not just scare them, not let us go into poverty and let us diminish, because every time we make out like this is a really bad place, then you're pulling people away from our businesses, aren't you, really? Now, it's good to protect, but it's also good to support. So we've always got to keep things in mind. There's so many worse places to live, and Heywood isn't one of them. So as I'm walking up into Darnhill, I'm reaching Bullimore Park here. Just walked all that way from Hillsworth Road. So I'm showing you little bits of what I'm seeing. You know, people live in areas, it doesn't mean they're bad. Everybody's always scared to go into certain places. But you know, I've got a lot of my customers and friends that live in Darnhill, and I absolutely love them. They're all great people. There's a little park, and the only reason why I don't let my daughter come up this way, because it feels like it's too far from where home is. And I just like her to be close by, so if anything happens I can get to her quicker, because as you all know, I don't drive. I know Lee drives, but say he's at work and I need to get to her, I need her to be close by. That's my feeling. But little local park, kids running around. You know, there's a primary school over there. There's lots of schools in the area, to be fair. I'm sure there's 3 high schools, and God, I feel like there's about 10 primary schools. So how can an area be so bad when it's It's all families that live around here mainly. All the flags are up from the World Cup. But you know, we've got a lot of people that support England anyway in this area. And the 163 comes through Darnhill, coming from Bury, going to Manchester. So there's one long bus ride from Bury to Manchester, but we do have a straight route to Manchester. Actually passes through Heywood town. So if you're coming from Bury, you can work your way through, stop off in Heywood. Come see Heywood Market on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And get back on and go back to Manchester if you need to, which also goes through Middleton. Where is it? Blakely, Harper Hay, all the way to Manchester. So you've got a good straight run of getting through to certain places. Now, I might get a bit out of breath here because it's very hilly as you're coming up through Darnhill. You know, we're going into the hills. So there's Darnhill Precinct, where Billy was the other day. That's showing it from this angle. Everyone that lives around here, we've got Heywood Health Centre there. Really getting run over. Oh, you can tell it's summer holidays and the streets are so quiet because the kids are all probably still in bed having lions because it's the summer holidays. I have made it to the top of Darnhill. I'll show you the playing fields. So as we come down here, this is where Heywood Community High School used to be. And they're all pretty newish builds around here. My fella will go, when I go to my friend's house, goes, one of my classes might have been here in your house. There we go. There's the playing fields with a nice little park at the end of my friend's street. But look at all that land there. Loads of it. A nice spot there. So there you go. Bill, you missed a few other bits that were nice in Heywood. Top of Darnhill, and Bury is in that direction. So here's at the top of Darnhill. I've just left my friends, and that's the 163 going to Bury. That stocks in there. And I'm at the top of Argyle Street. And as you see there in the distance, there's a nice bit of scenery as well. Well, as I'm leaving parts of Heywood, ready to get to Heatbridge, I'm probably already part of Heatbridge, but that's of Heywood leaving from Darnhill, and this is the route on the way to Bury. So all in all, it's always a nice walk through Heywood because, you know, it's a nice peaceful town. Might bump into people that know me sometimes, but it's been quiet this morning. But I'm going to end today's video with the bits that I've seen. And when I get to different parts of Heywood, I'm going to show you the market, I'm going to show you Queen's Park, and I'm going to show you any other bits that I've missed. So thanks for watching.